Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And hello, everybody. I am Michael.
I am John.
And I'm Andrew, and welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast. It's a little place where the three of us like to get together and talk about toys from childhoods. This one's a bit before us, but good. Toys from back in the day. So we're going to give you a little history lesson about this one and see if we can figure out all the ins and outs of this one. And it's kind of kind of a fun one, different one, a little bit different for us. This week, we are rewinding back to 1970. So a full 7 years before Michael was even anything.
Yep.
All the way back to 1970. Lots of fun times. But we're going to talk about a doll line released by Deluxe Reading. Not as popular as American Girl, but we're going to talk about the Dawn doll just a couple years here.
Actually, Deluxe Reading is actually a Topper Toys division as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's the same. It's the same company.
Same company, just a division.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I'm already learning something.
We've talked about Topper Toys before. Y'all remember that?
Sure.
Which line was that?
The Johnny Lightning was put out by Topper Toys.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the same people that put out Johnny Lightning put out this amazing Dawn doll. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to get into the toy line in just a minute. John's got to do his thing first. So, John.
Yep.
Do your thing,
right.
John.
I will. Let's go check our websites out over at toyrewindpodcast.com or over at crossthestreamsmedia.com. If you're on Cross the Streams Media and like to leave us a voicemail, we'd love to have some to play on these things and kind of get some questions or just someone talking about the toys they had. You'll hear Larry on later on. That's how he sends us his messages. So, but yeah, we'd like to have some more and, have some conversations started with that. Email is toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube, of course, is Toy Rewind Podcast. And then, check us out over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for our Toy Box showcases when we get some. Michael's been doing his Motoring Mondays on there on the same channel, just a different. How's that work? Is it the same channel or?
It's
same
channel.
Same channel, just
Yeah.
Michael's got his own little deal talking about his nice little motors and stuff he's got over there.
It's the same bat channel, different bat
Time
playlist.
Yeah, there you go.
Playlist. It's different.
Playlist. And then, of course, if you want to play a little game while you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, go to podcastbingo.com/toy rewind. Play a little bingo. Have fun with that. Send us, tweet it, hit us up on Instagram or anything and show us your card as you get it filled out or anything.
Yeah, send us your cards. We'd love to see them.
Talking about what I did this week on Toy Rewind's Motoring Monday, I talked about some Autobot mini cars, Transformers. So
I'll have to go
from the
check that
80s.
one out.
Yeah, go check that one out. So we went over. I've got 8 of these mini cars. I just kind of talked about the ones I had, and I listed off a few that I don't have that I will eventually get later on down the road. So just something simple and quick is what we did this week. So
Simple.
Check that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Please check that out. We do benefit from you guys watching the streams. YouTube likes to, as you guys watch the streams, they like to promote more because they feel like we know it. We're not making any money, so I don't think we're making money off of this. I promise you, we're not making any money.
Nope.
So just want to throw that out there. All right. Well, that is all our socials. So please feel free to follow that. Also, we're just happy to be here. I'm glad to be here with you guys talking about toy lines. It's fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Talking about a toy line, talked about these guys here. These DC Superpowers, which I have a few of here. I came across something new that I picked up, and we're going to have to check these guys out here.
Oh no! What'd you get?
Are
Superpowers.
I was just looking. These are.
Superpowers for McFarlane Toys. Just did these.
I was about to say those are McFarlane, aren't they?
Yeah, and we need to compare them with the original Superpowers. Now I don't think these don't have any action features like the originals did, and they're actually a little bit bigger than the originals.
Did you post those on Twitter, Michael?
I haven't posted anything yet.
Okay, because I literally just saw before we were starting this a post, and I was like, yeah.
No, there's 3 that I know of that are out. You've got Superman, Darkseid, and Batman, and then there's the Batwing, and then the Supermobile, as well as the. So, yeah. So you need to get that. Go find you one of those Batmans, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look and see what I can.
I've seen them. There's. I was in a couple Walmarts there in Tyler. Even Jacksonville's got them. So yeah. So they're out there. You can get them. There's plenty of them out there.
I got to go tomorrow, so maybe I'll grab some. Maybe I'll grab a couple extra little things just to go,
And the Batwing, I saw the Batwing at one of the Tyler Walmarts too. So I hadn't seen the Supermobile yet, which I don't know why Superman needs a vehicle, but he does.
It doesn't matter if he needs it or not. You need it, Michael.
Yeah, I might need
so we got Batman. That Batwing is cool looking. Yeah, definitely going to have to pick up those and get those added. And then, so did you just got what did you get? Superman, what did you get?
Superman and Darkseid.
Oh, and Darkseid. Okay. Are those the only 3 that they are doing?
That's the only 3 that are out. I don't know if they're doing any more. I didn't know anything about it until just the other day, and I saw them sitting there and go, ooh, and so I grabbed Superman, and then I had to go back and get Darkseid later. So
yeah, I didn't know they were doing them. Lots of talk about SDCC this week, or this past weekend. So might have been something. I just
Mike McFarlane's doing a lot of DC stuff, larger scale. I don't know exactly what scale. I think they're 12-inch, something like that. These are probably about 4 to 6 inches, 5 inches. I don't know, but they are a little bit larger than the originals. So, which we talked about. So yeah, and they don't have the action features either, as far as I could tell. We'll do an opening, a toy box showcase, and open them up and check them out.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So
another thing I want to talk about before we jump into it, our toy rankings don't get a lot of talk. Like we mentioned at the end of the episode when we do our rankings, but it doesn't get a lot of talk. So go check that out. You can see all of our different rounds that we've done. And I think I need to work on something that shows maybe the brackets from each one of them. We are about to be wrapped up with our 3rd round. This is 94, and we have through 97. Is that what we figured out, Michael? Or 98?
98.
So like 4 more lines, and then we'll do another bracket. It may be a little delayed, but we'll be doing another bracket here really soon. But go check that out. You can see all the ones that we've talked about, the last 30-ish toy lines, somewhere in that range, that are on there. We obviously don't rank some, like the McDonald's toys, and I think there's something else we didn't rank. But we rank them, compared to the other ones that we've talked to that are specific to that round. Not all of them all together, but specific to that round. So go check those out. You can see it, toyrewindpodcast.com. And kind of give us your feedback. What do you think about those? What do you think about the ones we've talked about, how they fit? Try and see if you can predict what year we were born based off of our toy reviews and our rankings of them, because I think that's a lot easier than some people think it is. All right, we're not here to talk about all that. Let's talk about some toy line. Let's talk about some Dawn Doll. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, well, let's rewind and get into it.
All right, like Andrew said, we're going to rewind all the way to 1970, where we said, Topper Toys. So they introduced Dawn Dolls. So this is Dawn, D-A-W-N.
Yeah, I guess we should have made that clear.
Yeah, it's like it's their version of Barbie dolls. Is what it is. So
when I told Bronny we were talking about Dawn dolls, she was like, "Is this some kind of war thing, like Dawn?" Like, oh no, like I'm sorry, yeah, it's like DAWN.
Yeah. So these came out in 1970, and these were 6.5 inch dolls. They were in direct competition with Mattel's Barbie, which we talked about on episode 8. And at that time, Barbie was kind of struggling. The 1970, late 60s, early 70s. She was trying to. She was having like a identity crisis. It's kind of in that time, and then Mattel also was going through some corporate issues as well. So the quality of Barbie and then her popularity were kind of on a downhill slide at that time. We know that she came back, but during that time, it's just kind of, and there was some other competition in there and everything. So with these Dawns, they were a smaller size. The price was a lot cheaper. They were easy to carry around. These were, because they're smaller than your Barbie dolls. And so all the accessories and stuff were a little bit smaller too. So they could actually fit all this. Some little girl can carry her doll with the accessories and wardrobe and all that. And they had little cases that came, little carry cases. And these were less than a foot long and 2 inches deep. And you can carry all that in one little case. So the first dolls that were released were Dawn. She was a little blonde. You had Angie. She had black hair. Gloria had red hair, and then there was Dell. She was African American. So one thing about these dolls was all their features that were painted, their facial features and stuff. They were all hand painted. So, which was pretty cool. So,
looking at them, I can kind of tell. I said, looking at them, I can kind of tell they were hand painted. They look like there's a lot of detail to it. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of detail, and not everyone, there's not one that's exactly the same. Yeah, everyone's different because it was hand painted. It wasn't like a machine stamping eyes on a doll head. They were all hand painted. So
a lot of time and effort back then.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, there wasn't much paint application to it, but it was. You could tell that it was all done by hand. So the initial line with these four girl dolls, there was they included 44 outfit package similar to the way Barbie outfits were packaged in the 1960s. So it was just a box and it had all their outfits in each one. It was all laid out where you could see every little piece of the outfit. They come with little stands that you could put the outfit on, like a little mannequin stand. And there was a little hanger that came with it and everything. So it was very detailed pieces. And a lot of it came from that fashion during that time anyway, the late 60s, early 70s fashion. And you can see that in these outfits that were put out for these dolls. There was a second wave of dolls. They had three more, or they had let's see, they had 5 more dolls come out in this. So 3 of them were boy dolls, guys. So you had Gary, Ron, and Van. They were all the boyfriends of the girls. Van was African American. I don't remember what color hair Gary and Ron had, but there were 2 other separate guys. There was Jessica, who had short blonde hair, and then you had Long Locks. So that was her name, Long Locks. So she had very long brown hair, really long hair. So there was several versions of these dolls that were released throughout the. Something else on here is they only lasted 3 years.
Yeah. And
the reason why was because Topper Toys went bankrupt in 1972. So, yeah, 1973. They went bankrupt in 73. So the line was discontinued when Topper Toys went bankrupt. And that's what happened with Johnny Lightning, which we discussed that in our Johnny Lightning episode as well.
Right. I remember talking about him now, yeah.
Yeah. So there was different versions of these dolls that came out. So you had the dancing. There was a dancing dolls other than the basic dolls that you got in the first release. So you had a dancing doll version of these. These dolls allowed you to move the arms, and the head and the waist would actually twist when you move their arms. Similar like we were talking about superpowers a while ago with the action features. That's kind of what these dolls had. You move the arms and the legs and the head would twist, and it looked like they were dancing.
They had dancing features.
Yeah, dancing features. Another version of these dolls, there was head to toe dolls. These came with short hair, and they had 3 wigs with each of them. So you can actually do their hair differently in different styles. So there was actually there was only 3 dolls that were released in this head to toe line. You had Dawn, Angie, and Long Locks that were available. So and these were mostly, and this line was kind of inspired by the Chrissy line of dolls by Ideal Toys. I think we kind of mentioned those with the Barbie as well, Barbie episode. But the Chrissy line was out during that time too. So they had hair where you can actually turn a little knob, and their hair would either grow or you can make it. You can adjust the length of the hair. So that's kind of what these were kind of based on. But they didn't have that feature. You just put different lengths of hair on their head, is what that was.
Okay.
And then the third thing of these dolls, you had the Flower Fantasy dolls. So these dolls included the dolls themselves. They were standing in the middle of a plastic flower pot. I don't know why you would buy a doll standing in the middle of a flower pot, but these are more higher sought after pieces if you can find them still packaged. These were not produced in high numbers like the others were, so they're harder to come by. So. And then there was a one more last release of the dolls in 1972. You had the Model Agency and you had the Majorette, which were two lines that came out in 1972. So the Model Agency line included some new characters, new dolls. You had Dinah, Denise, Melanie, Daphne, and Maureen. This line had a more elaborate formal outfits with a wide range of names, such as one outfit was called the Buttercups and Moonbeams. You had another outfit that they came with called Dance Till Dawn. Another one, you had Gold Go Round, and then another set was Silvery Pom Poms. So every kind of outfit had its own kind of name that the dolls came with. So the Majorette doll line introduced some more dolls. So you had Connie, April, and Kip. These came in a marching band uniform and could spin a glow-in-the-dark baton. So yeah,
they could actually spin it.
Yeah, it would actually spin. I don't know how. I didn't see any footage of them spinning, but everything I read said they could spin it. So those are all the different lines that these dolls came in. Some of the there was a whole bunch of different little outfits, like I said, that came in that were packaged separately. Like we talked about Barbie, Mattel they didn't make their money on the doll itself. It was all the outfits that they sold that they made money on. So this was something that the doll that Topper Toys did to make some of this money, but they were cheaper and they weren't selling the pieces as high as what Mattel was. And then, like I said, they had some other trouble and they went bankrupt. But some of these, you had some daytime outfits, you had some evening outfits, stuff like that. So the daytime outfits actually came with a little miniature poodle that came with the set. Mm-hmm. And if the outfit was a silver outfit, the poodle was silver. If it was like an orange outfit, the poodle was orange. It kind of matched the outfit. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
I mean, you got to accessorize and it's got to work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this was something that they did a lot, was accessorize everything. So, and that time period anyway, late 60s, early 70s, was a lot of bright colors and wild outfits and stuff like that too as well. So there was some pieces, playset type pieces that came. So you had a dress shop. This had a like a mirror around the edge of it, and your doll could stand there in front of the mirror and pretend she's looking. It also had I don't know why it had this, but it had a sink as well, and it had a working sink. So I guess you could put water in it in the sink. I don't know. That's just that's kind of weird. Dawn had an apartment, and in her apartment she had all this furniture. She had like chairs and couches and beds and a phone and all kinds of things you could think of. You could put in the apartment. There was a runway called Beauty Pageant. This was actually, and these dolls had little holes in their feet where you can stand them on a peg, so they'll stand up. Mm-hmm. And the runway, actually, you had a lever on the side, and it would move the doll up and down this runway like they're doing a fashion show. And it had a place where three different dolls stood on it, and they would all move as you move things around. So, yeah. Andrew's got a picture of it here that you're watching. So,
we have a picture of you watching the video.
Yeah. So the next thing we have, there was a beauty parlor as well. There was a fashion show which had a revolving stage. They would just kind of spin around in circles on this fashion show stage. And then one other thing that was kind of another hard piece to get was the disco. So Dawn's Disco, it had a revolving dance floor, and this one actually came with 2 exclusive dolls that you couldn't get anywhere else. So you had Fancy Feet was the girl's name, and then Kevin was the boy's name. So yeah, Andrew's showing. There's a little picture there of it. If you're watching the video. So this is just a little thing. You stick your doll on the little peg, and they'll stand on it. And then you turn these little knobs on the side and slide them, and it looks like your doll's doing some disco moves, I guess.
It's very interesting.
Kind of
very interesting.
John Travolta or something in there. So, yeah, it's very interesting. So there was also a convertible car that came with. There was a blue one. And then a little bit later, they put out a pink convertible car as well. So, so those are the extra, some of the accessories and stuff that you can get to do that. Like we talked about, Topper Toys went bankrupt in 1973. The line was discontinued, like everything else that Topper was doing at the time. But after shutting down, this is kind of weird. After shutting down in the spring of 1973, the dolls were packaged to be sold from There was dolls that were still being packaged up from leftover inventory. Mm-hmm. So in which you might get a doll that's packaged in outfits and or boxes made for another doll. For example, you might get Dale in an Angie's Model Agency outfit in a box printed with Longlock's name on it. So also another thing, you might get Dawn with the Jessica's hair. You never know what you're going to get after 1973 on whatever's left on the inventory. They just mash things together to get it out of the factory and get rid of it. So they didn't care. There was no more company there to kind of oversee it. So they just said, well, let's just mash it up and send it out.
I did see, it was interesting. I did see some doll historians think there were more Dawn dolls produced than there were Barbie dolls those 3 years.
Yeah, during those years, I think Dawn might have actually sold more than Barbie did at certain points.
At some point.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just the production, if they're not selling all of them, it's the production. That means they have a whole bunch of them. They're going to try to get rid of. They're just going to put them together, whatever they can do.
Yeah.
get rid of them, get them out of the warehouse, and then they shut down business. So
yeah. Some of the characteristics of these dolls, they were made of vinyl with a hard torso. They had softer arms. They had bendable legs. Let's see. The dolls, like I said, the dolls' feet had a hole in the bottom where they could stand up on a peg. And then they had plastic doll stands that they stood on, and then the other accessories and stuff that came with them that you can stand them on. And something else that's kind of weird that Topper did, they didn't use the same body mold for each doll. So not only do you get different faces with the hand painted faces, every time one was made, it was the mold wasn't the same for everything that they put out. So they could be all making Dawn dolls in 3 different molds, and they come out in their different sizes, just about.
interesting.
So, they're close to the same size, but you may have one that looks a little got some thicker legs or arms or something. They weren't exactly the same every doll. So that was something unique, I guess, for them. You don't ever have the same doll over and over and over. So yeah, I like to have different size variations. So an issue. The last thing I have on this line, the one thing that plagued this line was called green knees. So inside their knees, because they had bendable knees, inside their knees there was a copper wire in there, and that copper wire would turn green, and you can actually see it through the flesh-colored skin, which kind of, if you had a doll that had like a shorter dress, a shorter skirt or whatever, you could see that. A lot of collectors that collect these, if they have a shorter skirt or something on that's shorter, they don't want the green knees. But if they have like a longer dress that you can't see the green knees, it doesn't affect any, because they don't ever, they keep them all carded, or most of the collectors do. But you don't want to see that green knee. So if they got a longer outfit that covers it, they're fine with that. But if it's shorter and you can see their knees, they want to make sure that you don't see any of the green in there.
Yeah.
So,
John, I know you looked up some prices on these.
I did.
And we kind of saw a little bit of that just a second ago. From 1970, I mean, when we talked about that, the prices are crazy on these.
They're cheap.
They're cheap. Yeah. I think I couldn't find anything in 70 because that's the year they came out. So I'm going to guess they came out after the articles and magazines were doing. But I did find in 71 from Montgomery Ward, they were selling, Dawn for $1.39.
That's about $10 today's money. So,
but then you could buy 9 fabulous outfits for Dawn for $5.99
a piece, or $5.99 for all of them.
For all 9.
Okay.
And then on top of that, if you want to put them together, you can buy the $5.99 for the 9 outfits, and for 2 cents more, they'll let you buy the Dawn dolls. So for $6.01, you can buy the 9 outfits and Dawn.
I mean, as Michael said, they're not making money on the doll. They're making money on all of the outfits,
the accessories, and everything. Yeah.
As I put up a while ago, the beauty pageant deal where you can put them on and walk them down and stuff, that sold for $10.99. I'm gonna guess it comes with Dawn also.
For $10.99.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see anything where these did or did not come with a doll when you bought them.
Right, that's what I was trying to read. It doesn't really say if they come with it or not.
All right, $10.99. Take a stab at how much that is now.
$10.99. $40.
Michael.
$10.99. $100.
$80.
$80.
Wow.
80. I was not expecting it to be that much of a change.
That is a lot for back then. John, do you have any? I don't remember what we talked about pricing on Barbie to see the difference between them. prices. Do you have
Yes,
that?
I do, and I have it
Okay.
accessible because the next page in the Montgomery Ward book is Barbie.
All right.
Okay. So what's the price differences? Because everything I said,
So
Dawn was supposed to be a lot cheaper than, and they're smaller dolls, they're shorter
Yeah,
dolls.
they're shorter because the Barbies
Yeah.
are 8 inches, aren't they?
let's
Something
see
like
what
that.
I have here. New fashions, complete outfits for the Barbie crowd. 4 outfits, 4 outfits. Where's just Barbie? Barbie Sun Fun Buggy, new Barbie Country Camper.
A standard Barbie is 11 and a half.
$488 for the live action Barbie. Live action Barbie, yeah, $488 on, and this is the same catalog.
So $488
And that's
for Barbie.
that's the live action Barbie, the new look, two-tone, frosted hair. That was the same year, and that's what some of the Barbies were going for, $488, because there's the Ken and the PJ.
So
Let's see.
yeah,
the next
you're
page.
looking at a cheaper doll than the Barbie, but also because I just looked it up, the standard Barbie doll is 11 and a half inches. That is half
Right.
that's double the size of these.
Yeah, Dawn
So-
is half the size. Yeah.
I don't understand how they were direct competition. I feel like it's a completely different doll.
It is
Some of
completely
the
different doll.
kids.
Now,
now
like you know,
one thing that was also brought up in some of my research I did on this, the Barbie had been out, what's this, 59?
yeah,
So 1959.
been out for a few years.
Yeah, that was more of the older sister doll.
Right.
Yeah.
And Dawn comes out, and the younger sister gets these Dawn dolls, which are smaller, and they look younger. So Barbie was more of an older sister doll by then, and Dawn was the younger sister doll, and they were shorter. Like I said, they were smaller, but all the accessories were smaller. They talked about how small her feet were. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, there were little bitty feet on a 6-inch doll, compared to what Barbie was. So,
I mean,
Right.
yeah, the reason that you've got little sister getting the cheaper dolls over here is because mom and dad have gone broke trying to get all your Barbie stuff. So they're like, hey, with little sister gets the cheaper, smaller ones.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, Barbie was having a identity crisis at that time.
Barbie's always
They
had
did
an
change.
identity
We talked about this. They did change around that time. They changed the way her face was looking, her eyes.
Yeah.
They couldn't decide what Barbie. She hadn't really got into much of the doing the different careers and stuff like that. But right at this time,
Yeah.
they were just starting to look into that aspect of the Barbie doll. So this was this was just something new and refreshing, and like I said, it was half the size. It was cheaper, a lot cheaper. What did you say, $1 something for one of these?
Yeah.
It was $488 for a Barbie.
Yeah, $488 for a Barbie. Outfits, it looks like they were anywhere from $4.99 to $5.99 for 4 outfits on these packages for Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're talking, like we said with that first one with Dawn, you can get 9 for $5.99. So
yeah,
it seems
and
like they were doing.
with Topper having all the financial issues, they probably could have bumped that price up a little bit, considering Barbie was still 4 times more, just about three times more.
All right.
So they probably could have done something to make up a little bit of that money. So.
I mean, yeah. I still think that's crazy. Just all of the prices. I can imagine going to the store and buying 5 dresses. And I know prices, $1 now is way different than $1 in 1971 or whatever. But you buy 5 dresses and for 2 cents. How many parents do you think said, no,
No, just take the doll.
No. They're like, no, I just want the outfits. Of course you're going to take the doll for the extra $1. And then guess what? After that, you're going to have to come buy more outfits.
Yep.
Right.
That's how it's going to work.
And you
But
got to
the
have
question-
friends. You got to have your friends.
Yeah.
Her Dawn's got to have her friends and her boyfriend, and her friends' boyfriends have to join in. And
what did you
just
what
keeps
did you
going.
say the boys' names were?
You had Gary, Ron, and Van,
Okay.
and then you had
And the boys had their hair was like Ken's. It's
it was molded.
It's molded.
Yeah, and the girls all had the long. I can't remember what
punctured hair or whatever
where
it's
you
called.
you point. And another thing that they did was some of these dolls, if you're looking at where the hair was put into the scalp, not every doll had the same amount of rows of hair. So some were a little bit less hair than others. So you could have had two different Dawn dolls, and one had a little bit more hair than the other one.
So these Dawn dolls are very much like real life. Everybody's a little different. Nobody's the same.
Yeah.
But they said, wasn't it the ones that had the more hair plugs, their hair ended up being more coarse?
I think so, yeah. And then the less hair was a softer hair.
It's like the three of us. We all have different amounts of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's too long. It needs
just like Dawn dolls. Yeah. All right. What else? What else we got on Dawn dolls? I mean, I know it's a small, short line because there's only a few of them and a few years. But what else do we have? I actually think these are kind of cool. Like the fact that they're all a little different makes me more interested in these.
And it's interesting, we talk about these being in direct competition with Barbie at the time. Topper Toys, just think about Topper Toys themselves. And going back to the Johnny Lightning version, the Johnny Lightning stuff, they were in direct competition with Mattel with the Johnny Lightning and then Hot Wheels. Because Hot Wheels came out in 1968 and Johnny Lightning came out at the same time. Just the Hot Wheels took off better than the Johnny Lightning did. And Mattel got the edge on that and kind of still does on some of that stuff. So,
yeah, look at this set I just put up there. The kitchen. Mm-hmm. It's got 90 pieces to it.
Yeah.
How would you love to keep up with those little pieces, the forks, knives, spoons?
They have all that. All the refrigerator opens up, all the drawers and cabinets open up. You got stuff that goes into the oven. You have your pots and pans. Yeah, it's crazy on all this little stuff that.
And the detail on this, I know this picture is not great, but it looks pretty good.
That kitchen looks like it's directly from 1970. Avocado green.
It's got that 70s green, olive green looking.
That's what color, the Brady Bunch kitchen color.
Yeah.
The cabinet door openers, like right in the middle of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely. Wow, it's pretty cool actually. I mean, but wow, I wouldn't want to keep up with those little forks.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
4-poster bed, a mirror, like what is that? The dress shop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the beauty parlor. That's what
that's
I was
the That's the beauty parlor with the three mirrors on there.
Yeah. Then you got the dune buggy down there. The dune buggy down there.
Yeah, there was a dune buggy. Yeah, I didn't see that in all my research, but yeah, now we're seeing that there was a Dawn doll dune buggy.
Okay, if they still sold for this price, if they still sold for that price, I could not get coffee for 2 days and completely buy everything on that page.
Yeah. So, but I mean, they're pretty decent little.
These are, I mean, there's a lot of accessories for only just a few years. They did a really good job on accessories, making sure the details are there, and a lot of stuff. Had Topper not gone out of business, gone bankrupt, we'd maybe still be talking about Dawn dolls today like Barbies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Mattel probably would have eventually bought them out and turned them into the
it probably would have been like Hasbro would have bought them out.
Well, who owns Barbie?
Mattel does.
Yeah, well, I would say Mattel bought them out and turned them completely into the little sister of Barbie. Especially in that time frame, it was when they were trying to do that. A decade later?
I mean, they already had a little sister in Barbie, but
yeah, so
there was. I would think something like since Hasbro, all the other lines we've talked about, eventually makes their way to Hasbro. So
I mean, Hasbro is the
you got Kenner and Galoob and all those others that we've talked about. Somehow they all it's either a Mattel product or it's something else that has eventually evolved into Hasbro eventually.
Hasbro is the Mordor of the toy company.
Yeah.
Like that's the one ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to let's rank these, and then we'll find out if Larry had any. All right. So, Michael, where do you rank these?
Look for they're not going to be high on my list. So something. Now I know our wives probably higher on our wives list than on our list. Because none of these would be nothing that we would have played with. There are guys that do, but I'm gonna put this with all the other things that went on and everything. I'm gonna put it right there. Let's put it between Polly Pocket and Weebles.
Polly Pocket and Weebles, right between Polly Pocket.
Yeah, and that's simply because it would have been under Weebles, but it's a lot better than Crystar and Star Yours. But anyway, it's above Weebles because of all the accessories and the detail, the little stuff that came with was pretty cool. So,
John.
Oh man, I'm kind of like Michael. I think they deserve to go above Crystar and Star Yours.
Don't say it.
I don't know. They might have to go above Power Rangers, but yeah, I think put them right above Star Yours, right below Power Rangers.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm with Michael. They have so much stuff. They're pretty cool dolls, but dolls aren't ideal.
Yours is higher on the list than mine.
Yeah, but I was looking down there. I was like, man, some of these just weren't great. Yeah.
I would rank these right underneath Troll Dolls, right above American Girl, but I'm not looking for a divorce. No, I'm just kidding. These are going underneath Beanie Babies for me, right above the Dukes of Hazzard car. Or weird line that Migo did there. That's where they're sitting. The other ones like American Girl, the Polly Pocket, the Popples, the Beanie Babies, are all way better than this. I do like the details.
I had American Girl up higher than what I thought I did.
Yeah, I do like the details. On these, but yeah, I gotta stick with it there. So, all right. So, what do you think? You think Larry had any?
I'm gonna say no.
Let's see what he says.
Hey, it's Larry from the STS guys. You want to know if I had a Dawn doll? From the kid who had a My Little Pony, the kid who had a Cabbage Patch Kid, but no, I did not have a Dawn doll.
No Dawn doll.
They were before his time. So
they were, and I honestly, I'm going to put it more to that they were before Larry's time than anything else. Because he did say he had a Cabbage Patch, he had My Little Pony. I mean, I don't feel like Larry's judgmental on any of these things. Like he's just playing with what he wants to play with. But these were a little before his time. So,
well, we had fake Cabbage Patch doll heads floating around too. So.
Yeah, good soccer balls.
They were the head we were used for soccer balls, but
good soccer balls. So, all right. Well, there's not a lot more to talk about here. Like John mentioned earlier with all the social medias, so check out our social medias. That is where we will do all of our rankings and our voting for our bracket that we're going to get ready to do very soon.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yes.
Yeah, just a few more lines and we'll be getting that all together. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers will win. It'll be just like that, so it's all good. But we still want you to vote because we want to see what you actually think. Be sure you check us out over on Across the Streams Media. Excited to be part of that group, and there's lots of stuff going on. So check them out. The STS guys, Larry from the STS guys, they're part of it. Secondary Heroes, 3 Beers and a Mic, the Movie Gap, the Dan Aykroyd podcast, the Burt Reynolds and Charles Bronson podcast, Front Row Negative, The Art of the Board, Beering Ain't Easy, Hot Tub Beer, Which is More Gooder, Deep Dive into a Dive Bar, and I feel like there's more. I hadn't listed them in a while, so be sure you check out all of them. You can leave us voicemails there. You can also rate and review our podcast. If you don't like Dawn Doll, please don't judge us off of this one episode. Please just go through and listen to the other ones. We talk about a lot of cool stuff, or at least I think we talk a lot about cool stuff. And we have some fun lines coming up the next few episodes. fun things that happened in the 90s. So kind of not rewinding back as far, but just still some fun, cool lines and stuff. So be sure you listen to those. Like I said, we'll be back the next few weeks. So what else? Anything else we want to add?
Well, just
Good.
stay tuned. Some of the other stuff that we like to do eventually. Like I said, I've been doing the Motoring Mondays.
Yep.
On releasing that on Mondays, and then
maybe I can get a Batman and whatever. We'll do an opening.
Yeah, we can do a toy box showcase, which we haven't done that in a while. We need to. We can do these, and I do still have some mystery boxes we need to open up. So stay tuned for these mystery boxes, which are pretty cool. I thought they were Micro Machine, and which they are. And then when I turn around the back, they have Transformers. So they're Micro Machine Transformers. So we're gonna find out what those are all about.
Micro Machine Transformers.
Yeah, and then I'd have these have been waiting to be opened up too, Andrew. These Lego minifigs mystery packs.
Oh, I forgot you had those.
Yeah,
I forgot you had those.
Yeah, so we need to do that, and we got to keep people. I mean, everybody's been in suspense on it because we keep saying we're going to do one, and we haven't.
So much suspense. So much suspense. Well, all right, we'll get to that. We'll make sure we get one out soon. I promise. All right. Well, with that, then thanks for listening to episode. It's 94, guys. Really, 94. It's crazy. Thanks for listening to
6 away.
Just 6. So thanks for listening to Toy Rewind Podcast, and on behalf of the Brothers Newland, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.